This podcast is sponsored by ebookit.com, self-publishing solutions for the independent author and small press. Visit us today at ebookit.com. Welcome to the Toastmasters Podcast, the official podcast of Toastmasters International. Hello, everybody. My name is Bo Bennett.
And I'm Ryan Levesque.
And welcome to another episode of the Toastmasters Podcast. Ryan, what's going on today?
Today is an annual highlight, Bo. This is the episode when we get to meet and speak with our new international president. And our new international president is joining us from Colombo, Sri Lanka. He has been a Toastmaster for 28 years, and he is none other than Distinguished Toastmaster Balraj Arunasalam. Welcome, Balraj.
Hello, Balraj.
Thank you, Brian and Bo. It's a pleasure to be with you on this podcast.
Well, congratulations to you, Balraj, in your new role as international president. To start off, I want to ask you, as you look forward to your year ahead of service as president, what are you most excited about?
What I'm most excited about is the launch of the new Pathways program that is in progress, and I would like to work with the board, the headquarters, especially Sally Newell Cohen and our CEO Daniel Rex, to see that being launched before the Toastmasters cycle year ending 30th June 2018, so that the world is in our hands. So that's one of the projects that I'm very excited about. And then, of course, our shift to Denver, Colorado from California is happening, and a smooth transition of that would be welcomed. And then I would like to work with the entire people concerned to see that transition take place very, very smoothly. And then, of course, excited for all our members across the world from 142 countries reap the true benefits of Toastmasters International and what we have to offer.
Fantastic. And I know that among those 142 countries, some of those you are going to have the pleasure of visiting. Where is it that you'll be traveling this year as president?
I hope to travel in 5 or 6 countries in East Africa. I'm hoping to go to Brazil. I'm going to Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and I'm in the US in many states, and I'm in Canada. And I will be also visiting all 4 districts in India. And then I will be if on my way, I might stop in Qatar on one of my en route in the United States. And then I will also be visiting not Australia. I was to go to Australia, but now our president-elect is going to Australia. I will be going to a few countries in the continental Europe, and our conference is in Athens. So all these countries is what I anticipate visiting, other than those countries sometimes which might crop up suddenly for a visit.
Well, I hope you have a frequent flyer card.
Yes, yes, of course, yes. Otherwise I have to stay in long queues in the airport more than anything else. I might get delayed to meet our Toastmaster leaders who is just waiting the other side at the airports to receive me. So I would like to get to them as fast as possible with that flyer card.
Of course. So 28 years as a Toastmaster, that's a lot of time. Why did you originally join Toastmasters? But more importantly, why have you stayed a member this long?
Why I joined Toastmasters is an interesting story, because I just wanted to be with a social group and a like-minded group, and I went into joining Rotary, and then Rotary had that age group quite didn't fit me, because I then was a chubby young man, and the membership profile of Rotarians, not that I didn't love them, I truly loved them, but they were of double my age, and I was looking for so like-minded and age of mine to join with. And then I went into Lions. I quite didn't fit in there, and I went into this group called Toastmasters, and I joined especially for the fellowship and the fun that they were having before the meeting started. More importantly, when the meeting started, there were some people speaking and they were being ripped apart by their friends through those evaluations, which I believe was one of the best that I have heard in my 28 years journey, because 5 to 7 minute speech was evaluated for 10 to 14 minutes. I just cracked a humor at that, but taking it seriously, it's the evaluations that made me to stay on in Toastmasters in my early days of Toastmasters.
All right. And I take it Toastmasters has helped you in work. Can you tell us a little bit about your company? Is it GemTrans Engineering? What does the company actually do, and how involved are you with the operations on a day-to-day basis?
That's my company, so I have to be involved in the company because that is my bread and butter, and Toastmasters is my passion journey and my volunteer giving back and to the world and the Toastmasters world, and even otherwise outside Toastmasters. But so I manage a 68-year-old company, which was started by my father in 1949, and then I diversified in 1992 in starting this GemTrans Engineering company to make conveyor systems and conveyor belts, and that's the focus that I have in my business now. And I am definitely involved in setting policies and setting operational guidelines, and I definitely don't have the time to be in day-to-day operations, but whatever we set together with my staff is achieved year after year. In my journey of 15 years in Toastmaster leadership, but whenever I'm in the country, Toastmasters have trained me to sit and focus on the purpose at each and every meeting, whether you're at your company meeting or in a Toastmasters board meeting or at your club meeting. So that I've just got myself acquainted with that process so that I'm able to concentrate wherever I am, including right now with you and Ryan.
All right. So the bottom line is, I guess you're getting your money's worth, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Balraj, it sounds like you've got quite a responsibility there as head of this company. How are you going to balance those professional responsibilities with the amazing opportunity, but also the great responsibility of serving as president of our international organization?
Very good question. Embrace technology, right? So wherever I travel in the world, I would like to dedicate my last hour of the day to my company work and find out what is happening in my company. And I'm connected wherever I go with the company on pending decisions that they have to take if my input is required into them. And so that way I'm connected with the company wherever I'm in the world. So that's the way that I manage my company affairs. And whenever I'm in my home country, then of course we have face-to-face meetings and take decisions. But it's all in the game of empowering, enabling your staff to be able to do. I have a fantastic set of staff, and I would also like to just attribute to my Toastmasters learning experience and all that Toastmasters have given me to my company's success. I don't know whether you have a follow-on question or even a question on that, but I would like to just tell you that I don't have staff attrition. I don't lose staff. I have not lost one of them in the last 8 to 9 years for any obvious reasons, but unless, of course, they have a very personal reason that they have, which I have not come across in the last 9 years. So that is my success. Toastmasters have taught me to be a friend than a boss, to request people to do things than ordering people to do things. All this language that Toastmasters taught me is what I am practicing in my professional life, and that is my success.
Nice. So would you consider that your general philosophy of leadership?
Definitely, for anyone in the world, whoever wants to be in leadership, That is the philosophy.
All right.
Philosophy of polite language, polite request.
Gotcha. Okay. So I understand that you actually enjoy reading. Many people do, but you really enjoy reading. What are a few of your favorite books that you'd recommend to listeners who like to improve their leadership and influence?
If you really want to improve your leadership skills, the best resource that you have is to read about those people who have done great things in the world, who have had a compelling vision to travel the journey of leadership. So in my early days of leadership, even before I came into active leadership in Toastmasters, which I started in 2002 as a club president, I have been leading in many other organizations, but in coming into leadership with Toastmasters and then periodically in dealing with other organizations, the best resource that I would recommend is to pick and read those biographies of people like Martin Luther King, or my favorite person is, of course, Lee Kuan Yew, the Prime Minister of Singapore, who made that country from 1968. That was a country which was, which had fallen apart in every possible way, but he was able to collect that and put that jigsaw puzzle to make it a full puzzle. And today, the ninth richest nation in the world. So that is one of the biographies that I've read, and I've practiced a lot of them in everything that I do. So its best resource is to read those people, whom, if you want to be a business leader, go and read about Microsoft, Bill Gates, or Warren Buffett, how they do things. So those biographies stand good, and then that will help you to design and model your leadership in whatever you want to lead, whether it's profit, non-profit, or family.
That is great advice. Let's talk a little bit more about Toastmasters and this coming year. What would you say is one of our organization's greatest challenges, and how are we going to meet it?
Right. One of our greatest challenges, to be honest with you, is our clubs. We have lost a couple of thousand clubs in the last 5 years. That's the truth. And if Toastmasters audience is listening, when all the other organization in the world, in the voluntary world, is finding it so hard to start just that one club, we're starting hundreds of clubs every year, or even close to 1,000. But we are also losing clubs, which we don't deserve to lose, but we are losing because there is something that we are doing wrong. That is the greatest challenge of Toastmasters International and all the people who are involved in leadership.
We know that something's going wrong, but has that something been identified yet, or is that basically your goal over the next year, to identify what's going on and how we could lower that rate of attrition for clubs?
That is why you're smart. And that is why you had the follow-on question ready. I anticipated that you might ask me that. If you missed that, I wanted to just say it, but now you asked me already. I have identified as the challenge is that our clubs probably aren't delivering the best quality program possible to our members. So that is the challenge. Otherwise, why do we need to lose clubs? We don't deserve to lose clubs. If members are benefiting the best out of the Toastmasters program, why do they need to leave the Toastmasters program? Because this is a never-ending program. If I do not go to my home club for 6 months, I erode in my skills. I struggle to speak smoothly in all those 6 months that I have lost. So it's a lifelong journey in Toastmasters.
So Balraj, you spoke about the challenge facing Toastmasters, and earlier you mentioned Pathways as something you're really excited about this year. Do you think Pathways is going to be part of the solution of attracting new members and invigorating the long-term members?
Definitely, Rand. Pathways is one of the fantastic tools that we are going to have, and we already have in some districts around the world, because that's the biggest solution that we have for the whole world of Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters who are waiting to join us. I must also remind you that the current program will run parallelly for 2 more years from the last date of launch. But Pathways program is the solution for it, because it is a futuristic program. It is an online program. It's an offline program. It has 300 different competencies that one can learn from the program, because I don't think whether anyone in the world from the humankind need more than 300 different skills to just be successful in their lives. So we have everything that it takes, because if you have a problem, Brian, with your spouse or partner or girlfriend or anyone, we have a manual, we have a program for that. You have a conflict, we have a specially designed conflict management or conflict resolution model there. You are trying to negotiate a deal for your company or anything, we have the negotiation skills, and name it, we have it.
Balraj, what if you have a problem with your wife and girlfriend?
The relationship management.
All right.
We have a manual or we have a program and addressed specifically. Boy, it's true. We definitely have a program on relationship management. So you know how to manage relationship and come to a conclusion of which one do you want.
All right, I'll make a note of that.
There you go. Maybe time management might help as well. Balraj, the Toastmasters members around the world are going to get to know you over the course of the year here. They'll be reading your article in the Toastmaster magazine each month. Many of them will have the pleasure of meeting you in person, of listening to this podcast, of course, meeting you at International Convention. With all these interactions that you'll be having and all this, the public appearances, what's something that you hope by the end of your term as president that every Toastmaster you meet will know about you?
Well, every member who interact with me through the magazine, right? Because we have 352,000 members we close the year with, and I have the opportunity to give my message, which I believe that they need to work on. And I wrote on personal vision in my first column in September, because I feel all of us need to have set our personal vision to be able to travel our life's journey, so that Toastmasters become part of that vision, and then you have the other things to work on. So like that, I will be reaching out to all the members, and I anticipate that what they can get from me when they meet personally or at conventions or at meetings in my travels is that just to get to know me, and then see what a great impact that we together can make in the world, for world to be a better place to live, and to spread the word, spread the best form of peace and harmony using the Toastmasters program. That is what I anticipate doing whenever I meet people, create that impact that they can spread around the world.
Well, I think that's a great way to wrap this up. Mr. International President, thank you so much for being with us. This was fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to your year in Toastmasters International.
Likewise. I'm waiting to meet many more members around the world to be able to spread the message of Toastmasters where leaders are made.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care, Balraj. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ryan.
Isn't it about time you published that book you've been thinking about? We can help with that. At ebookit.com, we've been providing authors and small presses with ebook publishing services since 2010. Visit us today at ebookit.com and let us know how we can help you.